Hey, this is Rudy Sarzo of Oyster, and you're watching Lokaos Rock Show.
E agora a gente vai falar especialmente com o Rudy, essa lenda viva. Hi, how is it going?
It's going fantastic. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. We have a lot of questions to you. We could spend like hours, but we just made it some few questions. Okay. Rudy, no other bass player and very few musicians went through the 80 as successful as you did. You were in the huge bands Ozzy Osbourne, Whitesnake, Yngwie Malmsteen, and Riot, yes, and amongst others. Talking about those musicians you played, who do you think that had the most temperamental of them? Had the biggest ego?
Oh boy, you want dirt, don't you? Well, I mean, being in a band or being a musician also it's a journey. It's a personal journey, And what happens is when you're with a group of guys, you're all sharing just about the same experiences. We all learn different things. Like I can be in a band playing here in a show, and this show is going to mean something different to me than it would mean to everybody else. But overall, the band is going to be seen as the band feels or has performed a certain way. For me personally, every band that I've been in has been a wonderful blessing and an incredible journey. Playing with Ozzy Osbourne, with Randy Rhoads and Tommy Aldridge, being in Quiet Riot, being in Whitesnake, with such great musicians and friends. And with Dio, it's been an incredibly rewarding experience. And to come here with Blue Oyster Cult for the first time for the band to perform here, this is it's a gift for me. It's very special. So you know what? I'd rather not talk about the negative, and talk about the great things that being in a band is all.
So who was the most nice guy you ever play with?
Every band has its really funny guy. With Ozzy, it was definitely a toss-up between Ozzy and Randy, even though Tommy Aldridge was very funny. Quiet Riot, Frank Manelli, Kevin DeBro, they were always competing to see who was going to be the funniest guy. Whitesnake, I would say Adrian Vandenberg. Really funny. And Ronnie James Dio, he can be very serious and eclectic, but also very funny. Great sense of humor. Yeah.
And talking about Randy, what is the best memory that you have of him?
No, boy, there's so many. I actually wrote a book about it because I always felt that I was cheating the person that I was telling them stories because I was not able to tell them everything. So I wanted to every time, I had somebody ask me what was it like to play with Randy, or tell me something about Randy. So I wrote a book about it. But I can just pick one thing about Randy. When I met him, I joined Quiet Riot, the band that he started back in the 70s. I became the bass player. And along with being a member of Quiet Riot, I also started teaching at his mother's music school, Musonia. And I got to see a whole different Randy Rhoads, the teacher. When he joined Ozzy, he became very popular. And when we would play in a city that had universities, like music universities like Berkeley or San Francisco, New York, LA, music students who used to come out and meet him backstage, like at the entry, asking questions, and he always took the time to explain to them what he was a teacher until the day he died.
And do you think that he was the best guitar player that you ever played with?
He inspired so many guitar players that came after him. Randy had it all. Masterful composer, performer, guitar player, and friend.
Talking about Ozzy Osbourne, you were with him since his early bad days to his most successful days, even when he was almost beating Black Sabbath. What was the general feeling 30 years ago in that bus tour? Was like, oh man, we are completely fucked, or it's us against the world?
Wow, what a great question that is. Yes, it was 30 years. Actually, a little bit more because it was 31 years when I first started playing with Ozzy. And I mean, wow, what a great question. Did we know that 30 years later that what we were doing at the time was really going to matter? No. It mattered to us that we were doing it every single night. What mattered to us was getting up on that stage and being the best band that we could all be. And then doing it again the next day. I knew that I was in an outstanding band. It was such a gift, such a blessing for me to be a part of that. But I'm just flashing back when 31 years ago, being in that bus. Yeah, it was really cool. I wish you could have been there.
Yeah, I would enjoy it for sure.
The closest thing you are going to get is by reading the book, because I wrote it as going on tour. Every day I told the stories of everything that happening
really?
every single day. Yeah.
So buy this book.
Or borrow it, or whatever you want to do. See, the point is, I wanted to really take the reader on the journey. Let them know this is what it was like 31 years ago. No Facebook, no iPads, no laptops. It was just a band and Sharon as the manager in a tour bus with a microwave. That's the only technology we had.
Yes.
So we actually got into a lot of trouble because back in the day, the social networking was done at the bar, at the hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody would go down to the
Didn't
bar.
access Facebook or something like that.
No Facebook, no Twitter. It was the bar. So of course, you wind up drinking a lot, getting into trouble and whatever, But yeah, I think we are so more productive right now. Some more sober too, but definitely more creative and more productive because we got some incredible tools to take advantage of. Yeah.
So you think technology is helping, not ruining everything?
Yeah, there's two ways of looking at it. Some people look at it that technology has really been a detriment to the labels and to the artists because people download and they pirate things, But then look at I want to get paid and I want to make money, but I didn't become a musician because of the money. I wanted to become a musician first of all because of the girls. Second of all, because I love being in a band. I love the creative process and I love the camaraderie of being in a band. Yeah.
And I heard about that you are very skilled digital animator. Would you do a 15 seconds vignette to open our show?
How much time do you have? It takes time to animate. You have to, every time you see something on TV, there's a team of people that create that. It's not just really as a one person, Señor Eric Bloom. It's funny because we're talking about heavy metal, and I got to tell you, we're not that different in ages because
You could be my son.
No, not even close. Yeah, unless you were really into fetus. Anyways, they become a big band, and they were still young, And me, I didn't play with Ozzy until I was 30 years old, So, but I could say that Blue Oyster Cult really influenced me, not only musically but also image-wise. This guy personified heavy metal.
When I had hair.
But it's an attitude. You don't need hair to have an attitude. You could have hair and no attitude, or have the attitude, and that's all that mattered. And to me, Blue Oyster Cult was always like this very mythical, legendary. With the lyrics. The lyrics were exceptional. A lot of the lyrics were written by sci-fi writers. Patti Smith from Patti Smith. Yeah. And it was incredible. So every time I play a Blue Oyster Cult song, it's like a little movie in my head. All the stuff going on. Yeah.
Sweet. So it was a pleasure talking to you. I could spend days talking to you here.
This is an incredible interview.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Stay better.
Yeah.
She's great.
Thank you.
It's like talking to an old friend.
Oh, thank
A young
you.
old friend.
Young old friend. And I'm so flattered to talking to you because I'm really your fan. I'm like.